Hey guys, welcome. Example 6 here, and the task is very similar to example 5. But the point of example 6 is to show you that you can use synthetic division even if you involve complex numbers. Because unlike x squared minus 1 of example 5, x squared plus 1 here does not factor, right? So how am I going to break it into two linear so that we could actually do this? Because synthetic division, as we said before, only allows us to divide by linear items, right? Okay, here's what we're going to do. Although in example 1 we said that we cannot factor quadratics of the form x squared plus a, we kind of lied. We can factor them if we enter complex numbers, right? In particular, we can think of x squared plus 1 as being the same as x squared minus I squared, where I is the imaginary unit square root of negative 1, right? So this is the same as this. But then by using difference of squares, one of my favorite things in the world, we can factor this as x plus I times x minus I, right? Okay, cool. But then what that means is this problem here, dividing x to the 6 plus 1 by x squared plus 1, is the same thing as first dividing x to the 6 plus 1 by, let's say to keep it interesting, we divide first by x minus I, and then if we in turn divide the result of this by x plus I, then we will have accomplished the same thing as this division task here, right? Okay, cool. So let's do this, right? Now, first we have to do this, right? We have to first divide x to the 6 plus 1 by x minus I. So we take x minus I, set it equal to 0, which gets us I, right? When we set this equal to 0, x minus I, we get I. Okay, cool. We put that in the box, and then we write the quotients of x to the 6 plus 1, and the order that they should appear, which is with the coefficient of x to the 6th leading, so that's 1. X to the 5th is not there, that's 0. X to the 4th isn't there, that's 0. X to the 3rd isn't there, that's 0. X squared isn't there, that's 0. And then x isn't there, that's 0. And then finally, we get the constant 1, so good. Alright. Then we take this guy, we write it down here, and then we multiply to the side what's in the box, right? So that's I, and we add down, we get I. And now I times I is I squared, which is negative 1, so we write that right here, and we add down, we get negative 1, yeah? Okay, cool. And then we multiply to the side, and we get negative I. And then we add down, and that gets us negative I, right? Okay, cool. And then we multiply to the side. I times I is I squared, with that negative on this I will make it, I times I is I squared, which is negative 1, but that negative right there will make it negative 1, therefore a positive 1. Alright, so you should be able to do that on your own. So that's 1 there, add down, and we get a 1. Multiply to the side, get an I, and then add down, we get I. Oh, how lucky and how convenient. We multiply. Now this I with what's in the box, we get negative 1, we get no remainder, remainder 0, beautiful. So that means the answer to this here is equal to, and I probably need a longer arrow in order for me to have space to write it. So the answer is basically all of this, since this is x to the 6th, this starts with an x to the 5th. And so it's going to be x to the 5th, and then it's going to be plus I x to the 4th. Yes, polynomials can have complex coefficients. And then minus x cubed. That might be something else new to some of you on this video. Okay, cool. And then minus I x squared. And then plus 1x, or just plus x, and then plus I, yeah? Okay, cool. This here is the answer to dividing x to the 6th plus 1 by x minus I. Now we need to, in turn, divide this by x plus I. That way, we will have done what was asked of us, which is dividing x to the 6th plus 1 by x squared plus 1. Okay, cool. We got this, right? Alright, so let's get rid of this. We need the space. Right? Okay, and now since we're dividing this here by x plus I, we take x plus I, set it equal to 0, and we get negative I this time. Okay, cool. Otherwise, we write the coefficients of this polynomial over here. So that is 1, and then I, and then -1, right? And then negative I, right? Okay, and then 1, and then I, right? Okay, cool. Got it. All right, and then we begin the process. Take this guy, put it down here, multiply to what's in the box, so that's a negative I, add down, and we get 0, right? Multiply to the side, get 0, and then add down, we get -1. Multiply to the side, we get I, right? And then we add down, we get 0. Multiply to the side, we get 0, right? We add down, and then we get 1. And then multiply to the side gets us a negative I, and then add down 0. Beautiful, no remainder. So we've got x to the 4th, because this is x to the 5th here. X to the 4th plus 0x cubed minus x squared plus 0x plus 1. So it looks like the answer to this division problem is right here. It's equal to x to the 4th minus x squared plus 1. That is to say that this times this gets us x to the 6th plus 1. Feel free to check. All right, one last example, example 7. Otherwise, I hope you're enjoying this and keep watching. Take care.